Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. I hope you guys are all looking forward to the weekend. Newcastle play Southampton this weekend on Sunday down at the St Mary's Stadium. 2 o'clock kickoff, and it is on Sky Sports, so we can watch it on telly. I know there's loads of fans going down to that one as well. So I do want to talk about the game, talk about what we can expect from Southampton, what we hope to see from Newcastle United, the lineups, and I'll give my prediction at the end of the video as well. But I wanted to start things off talking about the fantastic October month that we have just finished and the number of awards Newcastle have been nominated for thanks to that fantastic month. 6 games, 5 wins, 1 draw, and plus 13 goal difference, the most amount of points for any Premier League team that month, the most amount of goal difference for any team that month. October was a good month. Hopefully we start the November month this Sunday in a good way as well. But Miggy has already won his first award of the month. That's right, he's been nominated for a few. He won the Newcastle United Player of the Month. So that was voted by the Newcastle fans. So well done to you guys for voting for Miggy. Well done to him. I think we can say it's pretty well deserved. He had a very good October month, and it shows, because he has also been nominated for the Premier League Player of the Month as well. I will put the links down in the description, by the way, so you guys can go on and vote for all of these awards that we're about to go through. But it wasn't just Miggy, it was also Bruno and Trippier nominated for this Player of the Month, Premier League Player of the Month. So that's 3 Newcastle players. And in fairness, Bruno actually tweeted out and said that him and Trippier have had great months, but that he believes the award should go to Miggy, which is nice to see. Well done, Bruno. And to be fair, it actually makes a bit of sense, because if all of the Newcastle fan base were to split their votes between the 3 of them, there's probably less chance of one of them winning. So he's kind of saying, get the votes in for Miggy, let's get him Player of the Month. And to be fair, I think he deserves it. He's been outstanding. And he's also been nominated for Goal of the Month as well. His goal against Fulham, the one that comes into Bruno, he flicks it over the top. Miggy with the outside of his left somehow kills it almost like the wrong way you would expect to go into the top corner. And that's the only goal that he's down for on that Goal of the Month. So I was quite surprised. I thought he would have had a few, but it is a very good goal. You can vote for that down in the description as well. And finally, Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe has also been nominated for Manager of the Month, alongside, I think it's Pep Guardiola and Arteta. But as I say, Newcastle have picked up the most points, the most goal difference, and yeah, would love to see Eddie Howe win that one as well. And as I've said, we've finished a fantastic October. Let's try and start up a great November as well. Not too many games in November, as this is actually the last away game before we go to the World Cup. We then have Crystal Palace midweek next week in the Cup, and then it's Chelsea at home for the final game before the World Cup. But as I say, hopefully we can get off to a good start with a win against Southampton this weekend. Let me know your predictions down below. Southampton have not had the greatest season, currently sat in 17th place, just 1 point above the drop zone. The manager, Ralph Hasenhüttl, is obviously a huge fan of Newcastle United, as he showed last season. I think he's probably our second biggest fan behind Richard Keys at the moment. You'll remember that when we were due to play them last time, he was spitting his dummy out because we'd gone and bought players that we wouldn't have had we have actually played them before the game got postponed, and then we brought new players in, but then it was all just a big hoo-ha. And in fairness, the game was quite a good game. They actually went 1-0 up. Chris Wood scored one of the few goals he probably got last season, but it was a good one. It was a good one. And then Bruno gets his fantastic back flick goal, which was tremendous as well. So who knows, maybe him and Miggy can fight it out for another fantastic goal this weekend. They are, as I say, sat in 17th place right now, just 1 point above the drop zone. I think they've only won one of their last 8 games, so they are not on the greatest of form. However, at St Mary's, do tend to put up a good fight and have had some good results there this season. They beat Chelsea there. They also drew with Arsenal there not too long ago. And of the players to look out for, I've got no doubt Eddie Howe will have told the lads, do not give away any fouls anywhere near the edge of the box, because James Ward-Prowse is the master of the dead ball. And I think that's probably their biggest threat. I actually really like Arabo. I really like him. He's a good player. We've got the Armstrongs. Stuart Armstrong. Now, I believe he might actually have an injury, so that could play well into our hands. We've got Adam Armstrong as well. Obviously, the ex-Newcastle player to look out for. But generally, they haven't been playing great, and we have. So I'm hoping we can go down there and really try and take over. I know we're the away team. Normally it's typically the home team who will try and look after the ball a little bit more. But, and I got these fantastic images that I'll put on screen. It shows in blue where your team has the most of the ball. And you can see Newcastle has it in pretty much our whole half, and even into the wide areas of the opposition. Southampton are pretty much just sat in their own box, or at least that's what these charts are showing. So despite us being the away team, I actually hope that we can kind of take the ball, keep the possession, and try and take over here. I think the big thing for us, or the big positive for us right now, is defensively we are so strong. Best defensive record, I keep saying it every week, best defensive record in the Premier League right now. Keep it going. Just keep that solidity at the back, and it doesn't really, regardless of who you play. Yeah, I'm going to do my Michael Owen bit now. If you score goals, you win games. You know, if we can keep them out, you're always in a chance. You know, you're always in it. Whether we don't have the greatest game, whether we have to grab one. I know we've had the 4-0 against the Aston Villa. We've had the 5 against Brentford and against Fulham, but if you keep them out your goal, if you can just nick a goal or just grab something, it really keeps you in the game. And although I did want to mention this actually as well, although they always give us a good game down at St Mary's, I think Newcastle have actually only lost once in the last 10 games against Southampton. That is home and away. So really, you know, we haven't been too bad. I think before that they'd won quite a few, but more recently we've actually been okay. In terms of lineups going into this game, it's going to be interesting. I think Nick Pope will play in goal. I'm not even going to bother having the Dan Burn target conversation because I keep doing it, and he keeps playing Dan Burn. Well, I think Eddie Howe's a big believer in that if your team is winning or playing well, you keep your spot. And, you know, that's kind of the way you want it to be. You think back to last season when we had Bruno come in, but Shelvey, Willock and Joe Linton were playing so well. Well, I think he wanted to be a little bit careful with Bruno. He didn't want to bring him in too soon. He didn't want to overdo him. But had we have been losing every game, I think he would have just chucked him in and gone, just go, just please go for it. It was a nice place to be that we didn't have to throw him in too soon. But the point was, those 3 were doing so well. Even when you've got a world-class player on the bench, you don't always want to change it. And I feel like that's the same with our defence right now. I think Target was great last season, but right now, Dan Burns working. It's a little bit unconventional, but he's doing a great job. And I'm gonna keep it. Into the midfield is where it gets a little bit different because Joe Linton will not be available for the game against Southampton. He picked up his 5th yellow card, so he will not be available for this game. So I think it will be Bruno. And then you've got the question on Longstaff, Willock, and Shelvey as well. Shelvey, we've kind of seen start to return with a little bit of football. Could we potentially see him in this game? I think that although Longstaff's gone a little bit under the radar and isn't playing as well as Almiron, Bruno, and some other players, he is getting stuck in and he's doing some of the dirty work that maybe some of these other players don't. And a player like Longstaff allows Bruno to go forward. So I don't think it would necessarily be Longstaff, Bruno, Shelvey. But I think Shelvey and Longstaff would kind of do that same thing. So I think Willock will play. It's the question on, does he play Longstaff, who has been playing well, or does he bring Shelvey in, who I think is a better player? And I think that once he's 100% fit, we will see, obviously, a lot more of. But Eddie Howe even said it himself, that really John Joe is back for when he's needed and doesn't want to rush him. And that would also mean dropping Longstaff, who's been a part of a very, very good side over the last month, as we've already talked about. So I am going to go Longstaff, Bruno, Willock. And then up front, we've got Wilson, Almiron, obviously. And then that's the next one. Murphy. Joe Linton was there, and now he's not. And then we've got Murphy, and then is Maxi back? I like Maxi, and if he's available, I think he should play. The only thing is, with Willock there, maybe instead of Longstaff, will Joe Linton not be there to clear up the defensive duties for St. Max if we played Murphy? Would he possibly do more of that than St. Max will? You know, these are all things that Eddie Howe's going to talk about. And because we're away from home, I naturally kind of side on the maybe Murphy would be better because we're away. You know, it'll be a tough place to go. But I think we're doing good. You know, I don't think I'm that nervous about getting back and tracking, and maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. But I'm going to go for it. I'm going to chuck Maxi in on my left wing. So let me know your lineups down in the comments below. Let me know your predictions as well. I have gone 2-0 Newcastle. And I know I've been saying this quite a bit this season, and that generally away from home, you know, picking up a point, getting a draw is generally a good result. But if you look at how we're playing right now and how Southampton aren't doing too good, I'm feeling okay. It's a long journey down there, and, you know, I've not spoken about the fans going down there, and I've been talking to a couple of lads who are going down there 12 at night on the Saturday to get down to the 2 o'clock game on the Sunday, or leaving at 3 in the morning and heading straight to the stadium. It's bad. It's really, really poor. I think the Premier League, they keep doing it. It's either a midweek or a Sunday. It's not good, but big up everybody who is making their way down there. Fingers crossed we can get the result as the rewards. Let me know your predictions down below. I'm hoping it's going to be a good one. I'm confident right now. Let's try and keep this this streak of form going. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're still watching 12 minutes later but have not subscribed, please do so. We are on pretty much the daily upload right now. And fingers crossed I'll be smiling with a reaction on Sunday after the game. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you later.